Hello. Welcome to another recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 10, Episode 14. That's not Amore. No. So we're going to jump right into the mess. As you'll recall, last time Denise left off announcing that, oh, Brandi says she's had sex with everyone. That's just her MO. And she says, you know, she said she's had sex with somebody at this table. And as you'll remember, Lisa Rinna immediately goes, well, it wasn't me, which, okay, now I'm not saying that she did, but just not a good reaction. You're supposed to just act kind of cool and raise an eyebrow when someone makes an accusation like that. The worst thing you could always say is, oh, no, it wasn't me, you know, clearly. But I'm not saying that is something that would have happened. Okay, everyone immediately jumps in and calls Denise a liar, especially Lisa. Lisa's harder than anyone else. But interestingly, when weirdo, alcoholic, attention whore Brandi Glanville claims to say that someone in their group has had sex with her, oh, it's the gospel. Why would Brandi lie? Brandi? Saint Brandi of Glanville? No, never. Never. Okay. Rinna is just way too angry about Denise's statement. Again, I'm not implying here that that's because she's the one that, you know, Brandi did or did not say that she had relations with, but it's just, that's not the way to go about it, Lisa. It makes you look terrible. You already look terrible. You are, oh my goodness, your reputation and your likability factor among people watching this show is plummeting. I think you believe that you're building yourself up and making yourself in a stronger position, but honey, you are not. You are doing the opposite, and that goes for Kyle and Teddy. The three witches of Eastwick are definitely going down in public opinion rather than up, regardless of what ends up happening at the end of the season, regardless of whether they succeed in driving Denise away, which it appears that they do. Doesn't matter. You are not doing yourselves any favors. Any favors. Okay, so Teddy and Kyle just flat out hate Denise, and they don't even do a good job of covering it up. I mean, Kyle with her, this is upsetting me so much, and I feel terrible. I'm so upset over this, is such nonsense, because she's just right there with Teddy, ready to just, you know, jump right in along with Rinna. It's so fake, and Kyle is even more obnoxious than Rinna and Teddy, who are just openly hostile to Denise, because Kyle has to do her, oh, what's so painful? I mean, Rinna's doing the same thing. But I think Rinna, as we'll see in a bit, actually has somewhat of a soul left, and I think she might actually feel a little bit guilty, because let's not forget, Rinna is the one that's had the long friendship, the long actual friendship with Denise, not just a Hollywood friendship, but a deeper friendship, I think. So she is really just stabbing a big old knife in Denise's back. And I think there's a moment in this episode where she feels genuinely like, I'm probably not a very good person. But then she said, but that's okay. Own it. I'm going to own it. Because you know what? I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to hustle, and I'm going to own it. Whatever I need to do to up my ratings, to up my popularity, to get myself out there, I'm going to do. She's never going to stop. She's always going to just claw her way and shove anybody out of the way. I know I use the word fame whore about a lot of people, but wow, Lisa Rinna is just, she's a whole different level. She's in a different atmosphere. She's in the stratosphere of fame whores. For someone that did a little bit of soap opera acting and was on Melrose Place. And how many of you people who are not my age or who are not Gen X even know what Melrose Place is? Yeah, there was a time when that show was huge, in the 90s. So yeah, she just immediately after that, after her acting career kind of went down, then she just immediately stuck herself in everywhere, any place where she could do an interview. I'll be on Access Hollywood, I'll be on Entertainment Tonight, I'll fill in for you know, Regis and Kelly. She would fill in for Kelly. She would do anything she could to get her face on the television. She is greedy for attention like no one I've ever seen in my life. I know she comes from a small town, but she seems to have decent parents. It's just that level of hunger for attention is just terrifying. You must live in a constant state of fear that everything's going to go away and no one's going to remember you and there's never going to be any paparazzi following you. God, that must be her own personal hell. Anyway, okay, Dorit is sticking up for Denise. Yay. You know, just as I knew, she said exactly what, Denise explained it exactly as I called it last time for the last episode. That these were basically all of the bad things that were said about Teddy, about Erica being cold. These were things that Brandi, in fact, said to Denise, and then Denise kind of went, because she was probably trying to just zone out and get through the phone call. Because they are not close buddy-buddy friends. That is sure. Those two, Denise and Brandi, are not close at all. They're not long-term friends. That there's no evidence that those two are close. Whatever happened between them when she came up to do that interview and Brandi came up to interview her, whatever happened or didn't happen, they're not close buddy-buddy friends. But oh, Brandi will call you and, you know, vomit all of her fake stories on you. And so again, you know, Denise, being a nice person, was listening, and so Brandi took her which, God, I've had those phone calls. Had one today, where you're just kind of and you're not agreeing with what they're saying, but you're just kind of trying to get through the phone call. Well, Brandi took that and turned it into, she said this about you. She said this about you. When in fact she said, when I said this about you. If you understand where I'm coming from. And that's exactly what Denise said. That's exactly the way she said it went about, that Brandi said these specific things about Erica, about Teddy, all the things that she said. Denise went, and then Brandi spun it and turned it around that, oh, Denise said this about you. Denise said this about so-and-so. So, all right. Garcelle, yay. The queen is suspicious of Teddy, Kyle, and Lisa, what their motives are for being so invested in this and so quick to believe Brandi. Smart girl, that Garcelle. Okay, Teddy, I just want you to disappear. You suck. I actually wrote that in my notes. Teddy, you suck. Because she's just so dark and gloomy and uninteresting and brings zero entertainment to the show. Please, for God's sake, get rid of her. You know, it's one thing to have someone evil on the show or someone rotten or someone annoying, but what? You can't have someone on that's just plain old boring. As soon as she opens her mouth, as soon as she walks into a room, like I am always saying, how can such a stunning girl be so dumpy? She's the definition of dumpy, and yet she's beautiful with a great figure. It's a mystery. All right, Lisa Rinna, you are just bullshit. And I am really disappointed that Denise is still bothering to defend herself. I really wish she actually wouldn't speak as much as she did. I wish that she would have just said, you know what? It didn't happen. You know, there's no movie of what happened. You can believe who you want to believe. That is the cool reaction. If this had happened to Erica, who, by the way, is also being a jerk about all this, Erica would be like, if you want to believe it, there's nothing I can do about it. And instead, Denise is on the defensive, which I wish she would not be. It doesn't matter what did or did not happen. She does not need to be on the defensive. Okay. All right. So my first impression the next morning is that, oh, first of all, the night before, I should tell you that Denise tells Lisa, why are you being so mean? You're being a bad friend. You're being mean to me. You're hurting me. And I think that that actually does get to Lisa in a sense. You know, like, why has Lisa never defended her when these are the two in the group that have been friends for a really long time? So it does seem really, again, well, we know why, because Lisa wants to raise her stock and she doesn't care who she runs over in her car. She doesn't care who she kills to get where she needs to go. Okay, so my initial reaction in the morning when she calls Denise and says, I really want to talk to you, is, oh, Jesus, here comes the fake tears and the fake this and the, you know, oh, I really, you know, oh, I'm so conflicted, like Kyle. But I actually, in the course of that conversation, I kind of changed my mind. I know Lisa's an actress, and I know she can fake it. And she's someone who can do fake tears. She can do fake tears that look real. So you have to be really careful of Lisa. People who can cry convincingly and really seriously bring the tears without doing all the fake, all that stuff, you got to watch out for them. But that's because I had a lot of acting. So, but it's dangerous power that you should never, ever abuse. Yeah, enough said. Okay, so yeah, sure enough, she starts talking to Lisa and the tears start to come, the tears start to flow. But even for an actress, she seems pretty upset. And again, my emotions change in the course of this scene. That does not mean that at the same time she's not going to continue along this plot and continue along this line and continue to stab Denise in the back. She will. It just says that she's not a complete sociopath, that she actually does feel some empathy for the poor little animal that she's hurting, which is Denise. She does actually feel, you know, some remorse, but not enough probably to stop her, to get her off her path. In fact, not enough to get her off her path. Because what comes first? Attention, fame, money, taking everyone's mind off the idea that there's problems with her and Harry Hamlin, and that she's maybe not going to win Mother of the Year. Why do both of your daughters have eating disorders? I'm sorry, a lot of people are going to say, wow, that's so mean of you to say, because, you know, look at the way that they've grown up and where they've grown up. It's a place that's prone to eating disorders. But I'm telling you, you have a woman who we never see eat, who is bone thin, who has not an ounce of fat on her, who loves to take TikToks of herself in underwear or bathing suits, dancing around, gyrating around, showing off, I have no body fat. And again, count the times you see a bite of food go into her mouth and be chewed and swallowed, or even see a bite of food going into her mouth. She doesn't eat. She eats very little. She's trained herself to probably survive on something like 600 calories a day, I guarantee you. Maybe 700, maybe 800, but she doesn't eat. Oh, I have this great metabolism. Nope, not at your age. Nope, not possible. Sorry, you're starving yourself. Maybe not starving yourself, but you are calorie restricting, as they say. You are constantly calorie restricting, and she's got that kind of control freak personality. So again, allegedly. Do I know this? Am I a doctor? No, I could be absolutely wrong. But I'm just telling you that I know what I see, and these are my suspicions, ideas, which may be worth nothing, but I'm going to share them with you. Okay, well, Denise is falling for it, again, because Rinna's pretty convincing. Again, it's not going to stop her from doing the things she's doing to hurt Denise, but I just think it's a case where some people are just not all evil. They're mostly evil, but they're just not all evil. And I think Rinna's somebody like that. I think she is thinking about the friendship they've had and the years they've known each other and not feeling great about it, but she's still going to do it, you know. I'm going to poison that husband for his insurance policy. And you know what? He was a nice guy. He was good to me. And I'm kind of going to miss him. But no, I need the money. So here, drink this antifreeze. I mean, I'm just saying there is that middle ground. Not everyone is just a complete Ted Bundy. Not that I'm comparing Lisa Rinna to Ted Bundy. Okay, oh God, now they're all going to church. Ugh, the church is probably going to catch on fire when they go inside. It's just yuck, 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 yuck. Yeah. Sutton, Denise, Garcelle, and Lisa are going to go to St. Peter's. Kyle and Dorit are going to ride sidecars on Vespas in the rain. That doesn't sound fun at all, but I guess they're being good sports. They're going. And Erica and Teddy are in the spa. Okay. Just a quick little, what in the holy name of Mother Mary are those sunglasses that Erica is wearing in the spa? First of all, you're wearing sunglasses because you have puffy eyes from last night? I don't know. But those are the ugliest Elton John 1975 reject sunglasses I have ever seen. Erica, sometimes you're a little on the tacky side, but you usually don't go just ugly. Those glasses are hideous. Burn them. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Okay. All right. Dorit and Kyle are having fun. You know, but Dorit is not stupid. She just does not totally trust Kyle. She has her guard up with Kyle, and that guard is going to be up for a long, long time. And that's one of the reasons why she's not jumping onto all this, you know, anti-Denise bandwagon. Okay. Lisa is acting all guilty, saying, you know, I really need to go to church. Like, oh, I need to, you know, confess my sins, whatever. She says she's not really Catholic. She kind of followed whatever. I guess her family wasn't religious, so she would have neighbors that would go to different churches, like neighbors that were Catholic, neighbors that were Presbyterian. So she would go kind of from church to church with different neighbors. And I kind of think that's how she is about her career. Let's just go to whatever path is convenient. It is going to get me to where I need to go the fastest. So even as a young girl, she had that quality about her. Okay, she has to say that, you know, oh, Harry always talked about this, you know. Harry used to, something like, he used to have a view of the Vatican. Yeah, he lived in Rome for 3 years with Ursula Andress. Okay, you guys don't know who that is unless you're my age. Ursula Andress was a Bond girl. And she was also... she was also a wife of a famous actor, director, womanizer named John Derek, who was married famously to 3 blonde beauties. He was married to Ursula Andress, then he was married to Linda Evans, Crystal from Dynasty, and then he was married to Bo Derek. And I think he's passed away. He must have passed away. He was a lot older than Bo Derek. Anyway, Ursula Andress was this great, I believe Swedish or Danish, I think Swedish beauty. And Harry Hamlin in 1980 was in a terrible movie called Clash of the Titans, which if you want to really laugh at old-fashioned pre-CGI special effects, go watch Clash of the Titans. He plays the hero Perseus in it, and Ursula Andress played the goddess Venus. So I guess she saw young Harry Hamlin and kind of went, he looks delicious. And so she was like, you know, come with me. And then they ended up living together in an apartment in Rome for 3 years, and they had a son together. And the son's really good looking. Of course he is, because, you know, Harry Hamlin's a handsome guy. And Ursula Andress, Andress, look her up on Google if you don't know who she is. Beautiful woman. Beautiful, stunning. She was absolutely stunning. Okay. Anyway, Well, they don't have tickets. You have to get tickets in advance. You can't just show up and go to Mass at St. Peter's. There was a time when you could. When I used to go to Rome in the early 80s, yeah, you could. You could actually just go in and go to Mass. But no, you need, there's like a line for people that are waiting that don't have prearranged tickets, and the line is 2 hours, and then Mass is going to be over. So it's very unlikely you're going to get a glimpse of the Pope unless you arrange to be part of the crowd at an audience. And an audience does not mean you get to go in a room and meet him and kiss his ring. No, an audience is thousands and thousands and thousands of people. But in the 80s, you used to be able to get special audience tickets, which meant that you were still outside, but you were under a tent and you were in like the first 5 rows. So you were very close to the Pope at that time. The first time I did that, 1982, was Pope John Paul II. And my mother and I were in the 3rd row, and so he was like just right in front of us, and that was before he was shot, so he was very vibrant. I don't agree with his policies as a pope. He was too traditional, and he was very anti-woman. But he was certainly charismatic, and being that close to him was pretty amazing. I just remember him, any baby that was in the first 5 rows in that special audience, he was like, oh, hand me your baby, hand me your baby. He must have picked up and held every toddler, every baby, kissed them, blessed them. What a really charismatic and charming man. Again, did not agree with his policies as a pope. But I'm not Catholic anymore, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, I like this pope a lot better. Okay, Rina was supposed to go on the Vespas, but I guess she became so overcome with guilt that she decided she needed to at least be in the presence of the Vatican, in the same atmosphere as the Pope, I guess. Okay, so everyone's getting ready for dinner. And once again, Erica and Dorit are flawless. Absolutely stunning. Again. This time they're going to have something more casual. They want pizza. They want Roman pizza. So they're going out to a pizzeria. It's got paper placemats and, you know, the whole 9 yards. So that's kind of cute. You know, once again, Sutton is paying for this glam squad to have traveled with her, but they're either the worst glam squad, or she has that kind of hair that's just like baby fine and you cannot do anything with it, because her hair is just, I mean, and if that's the case, it's not her fault. It's not their fault. Some people just have that really baby fine hair, and that just might be her problem, because her hair is just always, and never in a million years when I look at her makeup and her hair, would I say, oh yeah, she's had this professionally done. Never. Yeah, she's not, you know, she's not bringing the glam at all. It's not like I dislike her, I just don't see really what she's bringing. I know some people really like her. I don't see what she's bringing. I don't care if she becomes, I hope she does not become a permanent cast member. I don't think she should get a diamond. I really don't. I also didn't like the way she kind of jumped in with the mean girls to attack Denise, and she was in that room after that horrible dinner saying, yeah, and you know what? I heard that someone had sex with her, or that she, either that or she heard that Brandy and Denise had sex. What? Shut up. Just shut up. You're new. Shut up. Know your place. Kyle is Kyle. She looks like she's got some other glittery top from her bullshit Kyle and Shahida collection for Walmart. I mean, I don't know what the hell she's doing. Teddy looks schlumpy and sad. Oh my God, what a shock. Okay, so everyone comes to the table, and Dorit says that her room at Buca di Beppo is almost ready. I'm laughing so hard. How many of you out there know what Buca di Beppo is? I've never been to one because I don't really like chain Italian restaurants. It's not Olive Garden. It's better than Olive Garden, but it's like Mangiano's or what. There's a bunch of them. There's chains that are a little bit more expensive, but still they're basically they're chain Italian restaurants. Maybe you can get a decent steak. Maybe it's a little more expensive than, you know, but basically it's not. It's nothing special. It's everywhere. It's all around the country. And, you know, you will find them in a strip mall on the side of a highway. So I can't believe that she wants to be associated with a chain restaurant like that, and especially one that's all over the country, so it's not like people aren't going to know. That whole thing is, she should not have bothered. I don't even know why she really wanted to show that she was doing something this season. You know what, Dorit? Just shut up and look pretty. Just get your hair and your makeup done and make your fashion choices. That's all you have to do for me. You don't have to do anything other than just show up looking the way you've been looking this season. I love you. It's okay. Okay, so Sutton asks, is it like the Olive Garden? And I kind of want to say, yeah, it's like an upscale Olive Garden. It's an Italian chain. What do you want? Yeah, you get free garlic rolls, whatever. But anyway. Okay, so Dorit wants to have Teddy's baby shower there. The only thing I can think of is PK must have made a deal with one of the, maybe the owner of the franchise of Buca di Beppo in whatever part of Los Angeles this is in. And he said, look, I really need some publicity for my wife, Dorit. And in the meantime, it will be publicity for your restaurant because it'll be on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And so that's what it smacks of to me. PK, who's kind of scrambling to make money to fund Dorit's lifestyle and glam squad and clothing, is, did some weird deal with someone in corporate at Buca di Beppo. It doesn't make any sense. Why are we now bringing chain restaurants in? Okay, so does that mean that, now in The Real Housewives of New York, they're going to have, I don't know, they're going to have Ramona decorate, I don't know, a room in Red Lobster. I don't know. It's just, it's stupid. It doesn't fit with the show. Okay. Now, so wow, you know what? I think that is I think a chain Italian restaurant, a room in a chain Italian restaurant is the perfect place for Teddy's baby shower. Why would you waste a glamorous, amazing location and expensive catering and decorating and party planning on Teddy? Because she's just going to be miserable no matter what you do. She's going to have that face like a smacked ass. She's just going to be miserable. It doesn't matter. She's not a happy person. I mean, yeah, that's great she's having a baby, but God, I hope the baby doesn't inherit Teddy's apparent clinical depression or whatever's wrong with her. Okay, so Denise says she's going to let loose tonight. She's all, she's ready to go. She's dressed casually as always, and she's going to let loose and have a good time. She's going to end this trip with a bang, so to speak. All right, so Denise makes a toast, but then kind of ruins the toast by immediately going into, but we need to talk about what happened. So after making a toast to all of us getting together for this fabulous trip, she then goes immediately into, without even letting everyone clink, clink, clink and sip, she goes immediately into, by the way, I feel so judged and attacked by all of you. So basically she's like, cheers, here's to your health. You all suck. You all really let me down. It was kind of funny. Okay, she says it's the worst trip she's ever been on in her life. Yeah, she's letting loose and having a great time. This is a fun night for Denise. Okay. Then after she kind of drops this bomb that you all suck, this is the worst trip I've ever been on in my life, she gets up to leave. So much for letting loose and having a great last night. She gets up to leave, which she does a lot. She definitely has a strong flight response. Garcelle is tired and wants to go home. So Garcelle supports Denise. Denise gets up to leave. Garcelle acts like she's going to get up to leave. As Denise is leaving, she's out front trying to get a car. The producer tells her, you shouldn't leave like this. He's like, not even for the show, for yourself. You shouldn't leave like this. You just kind of like dropped a bomb and you made this tiny speech, told everyone they were horrible. You didn't let anyone hear anything else, not from you, or you didn't, hear anything from them. So long story short, she goes back in and they all end up having fun, but basically, nothing is resolved. The way that she felt in that moment when she was like, you all suck. Thanks for attacking me. and ruining this trip for me, that's basically what's going to stay in her brain. That's basically where she is. So, you know, not a very exciting ending to the episode. Still, to me, a downer, even though they were trying to make it like, oh, yay, you know, salute, this is great. This is the end of our Rome trip. Yeah. Yeah, mostly it will be remembered for the Witches of Eastwick with the aid of Erica and Sutton beating up on Denise and believing every word that Brandi Glanville says about her. So, rather disappointing. Anyway, I'm so glad you could join me. I sound like Dorit. I'm so glad you could join me. And it would mean everything to me if you would subscribe to my channel. I'm even wearing Dorit's clips. And the company that makes all of these clips that you see Dorit wearing, sometimes a million of them at once on her head, is called Kitsch. K-I-T-S-C-H. And I am not being paid by them. They are not a sponsor, but they are beautiful, and you can find them. Just Google Kitsch, and they are lovely. They're a bit pricey, but they last very well, and they're beautifully made. I have a lot of them. So if you want to have a little touch of Dorit in your life. Anyway, so yeah, mostly I would say this Rome trip is, for me, was about the fashion, was about the glam, was about the looks. And just confirming how low Kyle, Teddy, and Lisa Rinna are. So anyway, as I started to say, you would do me a very great service if you would slide your finger over and just tap on that red subscribe button. I would love to have you join. You can also leave comments. I love to hear your comments. And I will be back very, very shortly with the latest Real Housewives of New York. So join me for that. Thank you for taking part in my little shade fest, and take care. Be good, but not too good.